Speed does not always equal to quality, unless you're driving Tesla Model S. My name is Sergey Krumchenko. I am from Los Angeles, a software QA engineer, lead, and a manager in the past. These days, I'm preaching about a QA and helping people to become one from scratch or to improve your existing QA skills. Anyways, today we're going to talk about 3 test automation frameworks and their speed specifically: Playwright, Cypress, and WebdriverIO. By the way, you know what that means, right? Either way, all of them are awesome. I like Cypress, I love Playwright, and I've spent so many years of my life with WebdriverIO, and it is still awesome. Today I'm going to walk you through in details which one is faster. Please remember that when you're considering which framework you should use, speed is not only one parameter you should be looking at. You should also look at quality and very many other things. But today's topic is speed only. Either way, I have automated one test case in all 3 frameworks, and I'm going to run 100 and 200 loops over each of those tests, so we could see which one will be the fastest. For all the people who don't know anything about test automation, you can pretty much read the code because it's almost in human language. If you guys would like to join, feel free to check it out. If you want me to show you how I have set up 3 test automation frameworks and automated those tests, please let me know in a comment below and I will record a separate video because I don't want to waste anyone's time right here. Let's get directly into it, and you guys know, right, that you gotta hit the big fat thumb up button below, you gotta subscribe to our channel and join our Telegram and Instagram communities. Let's get started. Now, let me walk you through all of the test cases that I have automated. It is only one test case, but it's automated in 3 different frameworks: Cypress, Playwright, and WDIO. So let's start with the Cypress. Number 1, we have declared the base URL for the website that I have created. So let me show you that website. This is going to be right here. So we have a very basic website with only 2 buttons, and it's running from my local. So with the first button, which is registration, we click it, and then we see 4 input boxes. So first name, last name, username, and email. We can fill those out with the information right here, and then we can click register. We will get a registration successful message, and then we can go back to the home page, click users, search, and it will show us a list of users that we have created. I have a lot of those, and mine is all the way at the bottom. I will remove them before we will proceed with testing. I just wanted you to know, guys, what functionality this basic website has. So this basic website comes from here, and here's our database. It's a pure JSON file. In order to save the time and not play with the database, I'm just using a pure JSON file to save or store all of the data. Here is the actual server of our website, and it was created with the help of the ChatGPT. So pretty much I told, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to create a website for me and use JSON file instead of the database, utilize Express.js, and utilize FS system to file system to write down all of the information into users JSON. If you guys are interested in seeing how exactly I did it, please let me know in a comment below, and I will create a separate video of how to talk to ChatGPT in a professional way so you could get a website from scratch in the way you see it within 20 seconds. All right, so this is our website and it is running. So I did clean up the database, and I'm going to get back to the test automation framework. Okay, so we have our base URL, and then we have a for loop. It's a simple loop that runs 100 times from 0 to 99. Then we have describe and 1 test in it. I know what you might say, that why are we looping through describe? We could pull it up right here. We could, but there is no issue. I'm going to put a describe inside of the for loop for all of them, for the Cypress, Playwright, and WDIO, so it is going to be exactly the same. As you can see, I am concatenating index, or I, which is going to be a number from 0 to 99, and I'm adding it to describe, to it, to actual test, and to every field we're filling out in the automation test: first name, last name, etc., etc. So as you're probably already familiar with the Cypress, and we're simply grabbing this element, we're clicking it, which is the registration button, then we're filling out our first name input field, with the first plus, so it is going to be 0, first 1, first 2 within every single loop. And then also I am adding delay 0 property, because if not, by default, Cypress is adding a 10 milliseconds delay in order to make our test look like real humans. So we would not start typing right away. We would wait a little bit as we need to move our hands and fingers. All right, same thing applies to all of the other input boxes, and then we click submit, and then we simply verify registration successful message. So this is Cypress test. Then for the Playwright, we have exactly the same test, but it is utilizing Playwright, so it will look just a bit different. On the top, we have the same thing, base URL, a side of import that is required by Playwright. And then we have a describe, same concatenations, and then we're using async await here. As you know, Cypress does not use that. Then we go to URL, we click and fill out the same fields, and then at the end we verify that we have the registration successful message. Awesome, that's Playwright. Now we're gonna have the same one in WebdriverIO. By the way, for all of the newbies right here, if you guys are interested in seeing me automating this task in all 3 automation frameworks from scratch, so you would know how do I look for the right commands, how do you look for the right selectors, please let me know in the comment below and I will create a separate video for it. Okay, here we have exactly the same thing, and you can see that Playwright is very similar to WebdriverIO. And the main difference between them and Cypress is that both of them are utilizing async await and Cypress does not. I mean, it does behind the scenes, but it doesn't show it to us. So now it is a time for us to actually run all 3 tests, all 3 different frameworks, and see which one will be faster. So first of all, I'm going to run our Cypress test, and we'll see how long it's going to take to run the same test 100 times. Simply, we're going to create a user and verify success message. So let's kick it off. npx cypress run. I'm going to run all of them in a headless mode, as you guys will always run it in a CI. Whenever you have a lot of tests, you will pretty much never run it in a headed mode, which means headless, for those who are not familiar with it, is a mode where we do not see the browser. It's hidden. Pretty much for you, it's virtual. And headed is when we actually open up in the user interface entire browser and we run tests in the virtual, but we can see that virtual browser. Okay, it is taking quite a bit of time, so I'm going to skip next 50 and I will continue from 100. By the way, did I show you the trends page and which one is popular out of those 3 frameworks? Check it out right here. And also, remember that you gotta hit the big fat thumb up button below and hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying this channel and specifically this video. And as always, comment will help me to popularize this video over the world of the YouTube. Great, our test is done. Actually, our 100 tests are done. And it took 1 minute and 14 seconds. Right here, 1 minute and 14 seconds. And video follows, because we don't want to waste our time on the video. We want to be Cypress as fast as possible. Okay, in this case, let's save this result. Let's save it right here. Cypress. Then we're going to have Playwright. And then we're going to have WDIO. Okay, now let's get to Playwright. Okay, so we're running same thing, exactly the same thing in a Playwright, but let me clean up the database before we do that. So I'm going to remove it and create a new array. Okay, let's get back to Playwright and kick it off. Okay, so Playwright usually is a bit faster than Cypress, but we're gonna see how, well, it looks very fast, honestly, because I'm not going to even pause it because we're almost done already. That's interesting. Okay, so 90 and 100. All right, 23.4 seconds to run exactly the same 100 tests in Playwright versus Cypress. Okay, that's quite a difference. So we could call this 74 seconds because 1 minute and 14 seconds, it is 74. Okay, and WebdriverIO. IO. Well, that's interesting. Let's take a look. So let's go to WDIO and let's kick it off. Uh-oh, we got some error here. I think I know what's up. I think WebdriverIO needs specific version of Node. Let's see, Node -v. Let's check the version. Definitely it's too old. NVM use 18. I believe they need 1817, at least this one. So let's run it one more time. And I do know because I ran it a couple of days ago when I was testing it myself before to create this video. Okay, now let's see how long it's going to take WDIO. So I have turned off all of the logs except the error logs, so we would not spam pretty much our terminal. But it shouldn't take very much. Oh, okay, we are done. By the way, did you know that Cypress is one of the most popular test automation frameworks in the world? Actually, between these three, it is the most popular for sure, and probably the most popular one in the world. So for the last year, it has been downloaded more than 5 million times, while WebdriverIO IO was downloaded over 1 million times, and Playwright is almost hitting point of 2 million downloads last year. Guess why? Because Playwright is really fast. It is as fast as you should be with hitting that big fat thumb up button below and subscribing to our channel, as well as joining our Instagram and Telegram communities. Enjoy this video. 19.1 seconds. That's interesting. Well, that's how long it took to run all the tests, but the actual total runtime is 24 seconds. So I'm not sure which one to use, or 24. So you know what we're going to do? Since we definitely see that there is a huge difference between WDIO Playwright and Cypress, we're going to concentrate on these two, and we're going to measure the speed, including the kickoff time, the way we did it previously with the comparison of API tests of Cypress and a Playwright, link to which you will see on the top of the screen. Okay, now let's clean up our database. And let's go back here. Now let's run Playwright. I think Playwright is right here. So I have this file here, speed.sh. What it's going to do, well, this is our comparison from the last time. So we're not gonna need it. So we are going to grab the date that we have right now, and then we're going to kick off the run, and then we're going to grab the date after. So we're going to see when we started and when we've ended our run. So let's run it and measure the exact execution time of an entire framework, not only of tasks passing, but also the kickoff time. Because as we know from the past comparison of Playwright and the Cypress, that there is a huge difference in those. So let's kick it off. Let's go to Playwright and run it. Oh, hold on. That's not all we need. I did not run it in the right way. Let me clean up database again. I gotta run this file. So I think it is sh speed.sh. That's the way to run it. Perfect. Okay, so here's our kickoff time. So Playwright. That's a kickoff time, and our end time is going to be in a second. Okay, perfect. And here's our end time. So let's measure it. So we have 18 and 41. So 41 minus 18, it is going to be 23, right? And just to make sure that I'm not crazy, 41 minus 18, 23. Okay, great job, Sergi. So 23 seconds an entire run. Okay, let's write it down. Total runtime, 23 seconds. Okay, now let's do the same thing with the WebdriverIO. So I'm going to have to create this file. Where is it? Speed.sh. I'm going to create it right here because it's in a different place. Okay, so let's see. We're going to create it right here. I'm going to call it speed.sh. But we're going to run a different command. The command is, hold on, let me quickly grab the command. So for the WDIO, it is npx WDIO run and a configuration file. So I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, awesome. Now we have this file that we can run, and then we'll be able to compare them. Cool, we can run it directly from here. Let me actually put it right there. Perfect. So we are in a WDIO. That's exactly same location and the same test, but previously I was just using different VS Code window. So right here, same code, same test. Now let's run it. sh speed.sh. Okay, here's the first one. I think Node version is different in that window. Yeah. So it's going to be nvm use 18.17. Perfect. Now we can clear the code and run it. Okay, there we go. So WDIO started right here. Okay, we are done. This time it took a little longer, it took 20 seconds, but we don't care. We're going to compare it. So we have 20, oh, this one is 26. Oh my goodness. I thought that WDIO had a chance to win Playwright because they were very close. Honestly, 23 and 26 seconds. And if we take a look, that actual time, let's see, actual task execution time is faster, but we shouldn't count everything. So if we do not count task kickoff time, the WebdriverIO is faster. If we do count the kickoff time, then a Playwright is faster. Well, since it is very close, I'm going to run it one more time with the 210s real quick, and I will show you result. Let me quickly clean up the database, go back to Playwright, and kick it off with the 200 tasks. So let's run 200 and not one. And we're going to be including the kickoff runtime as well. So here's our 200 comparison. So that was right here. That's going to be 400. And now we're going to do the same thing for 200. While it's running, I'm going to fill the data. So for the 200, that's when we started, and we are almost done. By the way, I forgot to mention, for all of those who are abroad and all of those who are students, we have two memberships, one for $50 per month, another one for $150 per month, which will help you to get actual experience in a real US-based startup. So we're making an update to $150 membership. So now you are going to have a mentor support. But for $150 per month, it's going to be only 1 hour per day. So 1 hour per day, our mentor will be joining the chat with you and all of the other students, where he or she will answer all the questions that you have asked in a questions channel. Congratulations for those who already signed up, and welcome for those who will be joining us soon. The link for these memberships are right below this video. Let's continue. All right, we are done now. So let me grab this one right here and compare them. So we started 34 and we've ended at 18. So 34 plus 26, it's going to be 60. 26 plus 18, it is going to be 44.
So let's count it. Just to make sure I'm not crazy. 26. 26 plus 18 is going to be 44.
Exactly. So for the 200, we have 44 seconds. Okay, now let's do the same thing with the WebdriverIO. Let me clean up the database and switch back to WDIO. Oops, I'm going to pull it to the side, clear it, change it to 200, and kick it off. Let's save the data. Let's get back here, WDIO. We've kicked off at 18, so let's see when it is going to end. Okay, the time is over. So let's grab the timestamp, run back here, and compare it. Okay, so we have 42 seconds here plus 7. It is going to be 47, which is still 3 seconds behind the Playwright. So the total time is 47. Let's double check it with a calc.
60 minus 18 would be 42, and plus 5 is going to be 47.
Exactly. So Playwright is just a bit ahead of WebdriverIO.